basics. We're going to go back to basics. Some of you will know some of this, some of you won't. But the general basics, like what is an FACA? What are the goals of that function in our game? Notice that whilst we're being semi-accurate to what happened in Vietnam, the semi is quite bold and underlined, if you know what I mean. So while we have our own procedures, they won't exactly match what was done then. So what the goals of it are, what sorts of targets you can expect to be deployed on and the ways that you might attack them, what sorts of systems you have to do that, like radios, like people you will interact with, things like who is monkey control, who is warthog, things like that. A brief discussion, but not a lengthy one, of the kinds of airframe that you might get used on, and of course, and then we will go to, we'll take a truck over to the runway where you will be introduced to your beloved steed. We'll talk about the general procedure, which is that document that Nick's got, and then we will put you up in the air for a couple of practice goes. Seem okay to you, Nick?
Sounds good.
Okay. So step one is what's the goal of an FAC? What do we use them for, and how do they roughly work? You want to give your opinion on that one?
Sure. So I don't know how many of you have flown TAC airplanes before, but if you have, you'll know how hard it is to spot stuff that's on the ground. The point of a FAC is that you can have someone who's moving slowly but high up, so you're in a position to see targets, and you can mark targets and talk the strike planes onto them. That's what it's all about.
You cut
Cut
out.
out the...
Hello, am I
Hello.
still here?
You cut out it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Period.
Yeah, full stop. There you go. Yeah. So, yeah. So you'll basically the role of the FAC is to put tactical air when it's available onto targets specified by, well, theoretically the platoon leader, which would be Pointer normally, but depending on how things have gone, it can devolve. And sometimes, of course, Scatter will be with the platoon in an infantry role, his least favourite, calling in TAC air from the ground, which, of course, maximises coordination but minimises visibility.
Okay, so there's two key things. The two key objectives of a FAC, whether you're on the ground or on the air, are first, make sure that no weapons get dropped on friendly forces. That is your primary objective. Mm-hmm. The secondary objective is to drop weapons on required targets. But the first one is more important, because if you screw the second one up, well, that's just set back the operation a little bit. If you screw the first one up, you've probably just killed half the platoon.
Yeah, so whenever anybody hears Kent shouting, "Bring it in closer," the correct thing to do is a 45 to the back of the head. Not, yeah, that sounds good. Okay. Okay. So in terms of targets, you will have hard targets, bunkers, sites, depots. You will have vehicle targets, tanks or light vehicles. You will more commonly have infantry targets, and you will most commonly of all have theoretical infantry targets. Yeah. Meaning that the infantry are quite sure there's some nasty people over there, but even if there aren't, they'd like you to make them go away. Yeah.
Discourage that hillside.
Discourage that hillside, please. Yes, or in the case of Bravo Heavy, discourage that county.
Yes.
Oh. I'm trying to keep this not too long so that you can get in the planes. The systems that you have to do this, basically, depends on the mission that we've got. Sometimes when the mission starts, you will be told that there's TAC air available. This isn't the usual case, unfortunately, but that's there. More commonly, you will be told that you can have TAC air chopped to you if it is available on request. And the way that you do this is by asking those nice people at Monkey Mountain. So, what is Monkey Mountain? Monkey Mountain is the call sign that we use for the tactical air control party that this platoon is.
Well, Monkey Control is the call sign. Monkey Mountain is the place they're located.
So sometimes there may be other air control stations you will be asked to talk to. Usually that's if you're doing some sneaky beaky secret squirrels crap. But generally it's the fine folks at Monkey Control who decide what you get and often how fast you get it. Adopting your pleading voice may sometimes help, but usually doesn't. It does mean, in terms of what airframes you're going to get, it can be, how to say, somewhat random. You want to sort of talk through the different kinds of things that might show up and what's more common than not?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options here. So the most obvious one is Sky Raiders. They're reasonably often available. Sometimes they're flown by US forces, in which case they're generally quite well trained and they will generally do what you ask them to. Sometimes they are flown by what's the acronym for the
Avon Valley Regular Nationalists.
Thank you. Yes, the ARVN, who are Chelt locals, and they've got spirit certainly, but they won't tend to do anything complicated. Like they'll usually drop all their ordnance in one go and fuck off again. So if you get them turning up, then firstly make a simple game plan, and to brace yourself for talking Chelt. Sky Raiders are slow, which is on the one hand bad because it means they'll take ages getting to places. On the other hand, it's great because they have good visibility, and they have huge fuel endurance, so they can carry a load of ordnance and they can stick around for ages. Everything else that you'll encounter pretty much is a jet. The most common types that we see tend to be F-100 Super Sabres or Huns, which will usually be loaded with Snake Eye and Napalm. So Snake Eye is retarded 500-pound bombs usually. Napalm obviously sets the world on fire. They can't carry very many, and they're jets, so they will tend to turn up, stooge around for a few minutes, make one attack and bugger off again. Sometimes we get F-105s, Thunder Chiefs or Thuds, which are, again, fast, carry typically Napalm and Snake again. Sometimes you will get Navy aircraft, so sometimes A4 Skyhawks, which might carry bombs, might carry rockets. They often seem to. Yeah. Sometimes you'll get A6 Intruders, which are Navy medium bombers, which are great, and they'll generally only carry bombs, but they will carry like 30 of them.
Yeah, lots.
So you can delete large areas. And then there's random stuff.
They tend to get shirty if you ask them to use small numbers of bombs at once.
Yes.
Phantoms.
There's Phantoms, which can do ground attack but can also do air-to-air, so they're often more useful if you want to chase MiGs away. Sometimes you'll get a B-52 on its way back from somewhere. If the call sign ends in heavy, it's probably a B-52, and you want to be super careful because it will A, not be able to see a damn thing, and B, carry enough ordnance to delete half the county.
Yeah.
So you can use them, but...
tried to talk one on once, and it was like, look, we're at like 70,000 feet. I have no idea what's down there. We're just going to drop it.
Yeah.
Drop that shit north of the river.
They're usually quite accurate if you give them a good map reference.
Yes.
But that's because that's all they're using anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so the main thing is Sky Raiders are prop powered and have long endurance. More or less, most of the things you're going to get are going to be jet, TAC air, and they're probably carrying Snake Eye and Napalm. So Snake Eye and Napalm are your two typical weapons to use.
Yeah. Sometimes cluster munitions. Those are less popular.
Yeah, if you cluster bomb an area, that area will have unexploded clusters in it when you walk into it. So that can be super bad.
Very effective, but unpopular with the infantry.
Yep.
Okay. I guess, again, I know this is quite accelerated, so any questions or comments at this point, I suppose is a good way to do it. Anything that you are curious about based on what we've said already? Okay. Clearly we are masters of this, Nick. Okay. What other things that are important to mention at this point? Yeah, I mean, when we get onto looking at the procedure and checking and things like that will be covered. More general topics. Yeah, what you get can often be quite random. Unless it's been deliberately assigned to you, what's actually happening is Monkey Control is finding whoever the nearest person is on their way somewhere not too important or on their way back from somewhere with unexpended munitions and handing them over to you for a bit. What this does mean is that it's usually a luxury to have TAC air stooging around for a long time. They'll normally be, you'll call, they'll turn up, they'll be overhead for a while, probably 5 or 10 minutes, and then they'll need to leave. So always have a plan, I guess, for how to use whatever turns up. Would be my advice. And don't stand downwind of the napalm. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to have a look at the procedures at this point, Nick? I guess because that document you got is pretty good.
Sure. Okay. So, how does this work? There are 4 basic steps. You check in. You have the game plan and talk on the attack, and then BDA. So, step 1 is check in, and that's your initial communication between the TAC air and you. You can put them at a holding point. So if there's a terrain feature that they can stay around, you typically want them to be 4 to 5 kilometers away from the area that you're going to use them, because they need time to set up their attack run and spot the target and stuff. Depending on how the TAC air is being operated in the game, this stage may or may not be fictional. Because if we have a player flying the TAC air, then you will absolutely need to stack them over a terrain feature a few kilometers away from the objective while they check in and you give them the game plan and set everything up. If John is NPCing the TAC air will not actually exist in game until it's making its attack run. So you'll be talking to the pilot, and the pilot will be sort of fictional. But yeah, once you've instructed them where to stooge, and you're happy and they're happy, then you get them to check in. And that's just a process of them telling you what aircraft they're in, what weapons they've got, and how long they can stick around for. So that would be something like, I'm a 2-ship flight of Sky Raiders, I've got 8 Mark 82 Snake Eyes and 6 500-pound tubs of napalm. We have 20 minutes of playtime. So then you note that down, and you know what weapons you have available. Once they've checked in, and once you, the FAC, have a target, then you move on to the next stage, which is the game plan. And that's where you communicate to the pilot what you're going to want them to do. So the key things here are you explain to them the broad outline. So it might be, we're taking fire from a bunker on a hillside north of us. I'm going to get you to put Snake Eyes on that bunker. And then you need to communicate to them where the target is. There's a bunch of ways that you can do this. If you're on the ground, then you can either pop a smoke grenade. If you're close, pop a smoke grenade out to the target. If you're not using a grenade launcher, then you're probably too close to call in air. But we've done it. If you're in the air, you've got 2 options. You can talk them on from a terrain feature. So, if there's an obvious thing like a fork in the river, start from there and say, go 400 meters east and you will see a road junction. Go 100 meters north from there, you will see a small village. And if you go 100 meters north of the small village, you will see a hillside with bunkers on it. So that's the hard way to do it. The easy way to do it is use the fact that your Bronco has Willy Pete rockets on it. So once you've got the game plan conveyed, then you can fire a Willy Pete rocket onto the target. And that gives you about a minute for the strike aircraft to see it. They're pretty easy to see, big white puffball. And, if you hit with the rocket, then the mark is your target. If you have not hit with the rocket, then you can say, see the white mark. The target is the bunker 50 meters north of the mark. Other things that you might want to specify. The most important thing is the attack heading.
No, the most important thing is whether there's any anti-air around. From my perspective.
Yeah, fair. When you're checking in and giving the game plan, yes. If you're aware of anti-air, then you want to communicate that. The most important thing about the attack is the heading that they make the attack on. It's very difficult or it's relatively easy to drop the bomb on your flight path and not deviate left or right. It's very easy to drop the bomb long or short. So what you want is to set up a flight path that does not fly over friendly troops. In fact, ideally you want to set the flight path up so it's 90 degrees away from the closest line to friendly troops from the target. So if they go long or short, then they're going nowhere near friendlies. You might want to change that if there's anti-aircraft at either side, but don't put the line over friendly troops if you can possibly help it. So you can give them the instruction attack south to north or attack on bearing 030 or whatever. You may want them to turn in a particular direction when they've made the drop, because if you're attacking south to north and you know that there's air defences off to the east, then you might say attack south to north, break left. And so when they've made the attack, they'll turn left away from those. You don't have to specify that, and if you don't, the pilots will choose whatever makes sense to them. Once you've conveyed the game plan, you can tell them to push the attack, and that's the instruction for them to start making the attack. They will fly to a position where they're in the right direction from the target, and then they will turn in. Once they've turned in, then they should announce over the radio in from the whatever direction, so south. They're probably calling that about 30 seconds out from the target. Sky Raiders fly about 5 kilometers a minute, so if you've set them up about 3 kilometers away, then it will be about half a minute out. In from the south or whatever is your indication as the fact that they've started their run. When they're 10 seconds or so from weapon release, they will call 10 seconds. You, the FAC, are still in control of the attack. The TAC air will not release weapons until you clear them hot. With a call cleared hot. Unless they're the AVRN, in which case goodness knows what they'll do. But yeah, so in theory, once they've called in from the south or in from whatever direction, you, the FAC, should be trying to get eyes on the strike aircraft and eyes on the target, so that you can see that they're heading in the right direction. When they call 10 seconds, if you're satisfied that they are indeed lined up on the target, then you call them cleared hot. Once you clear them hot, they are allowed to drop their weapons. If you don't call them cleared hot, they should overfly the target without dropping. Sometimes pilots will get enthusiastic and drop anyway, but they shouldn't. Now, sometimes armour makes it quite hard to see things compared to real life, so quite often you won't see the strike fighter before they call 10 seconds. Either because they're a real plane flown by a player and pixelation just means it was really hard to see them, or because they're an NPC that doesn't exist until they start making their attack run. So sometimes you just have to have faith and call cleared hot and then call 10 seconds. Because if you don't call cleared hot, they shouldn't drop. Once they've dropped, they make their final call, which is off in a direction, so off west or off north or whatever. That's your cue as the FAC to know that the attack is complete. So you can go in and conduct BDA, or you can put additional aircraft on the target without risking collision. That's how to make an attack. After you've done that, you should go and have a look at what's achieved from the attack, and you might have them re-attack the same target, perhaps from a different direction. If the target's destroyed, you might send them back to the holding position. If you've got weapons and playtime, think about what you're going to hit next. There we go. Any questions? Okay, so the key features there are check-in, game plan, attack, BDA. And the important calls are specifying direction, specifying what weapons you want, marking the target, telling them to push, and then when they call in and 10 seconds, clear them hot. Those are the key steps. All right.
Okay, let's give it a go. So what we're going to do is we're going to head to the northeast. There's a bunker on a hilltop. We're going to do a couple of ground control ones each, and then we're going to get the Bronco and try doing it from the air. Woo. Let's do this. Follow me. Ignore the 2.5 tonner. We'll take that to the flight line. is our little op bunker. I'm just going to get rid of this searchlight because we don't need it right now. A little bit more room. And then I'm going to put a crate down. So in the crate that I'm about to put down, I'm going to put down a crate with with some radio backpacks in them. The kind of radio that you'll need to use. And some pilot helmets. Don't worry about the pilot helmets just now.
What about maps?
And maps if you haven't got one. Yes, you may not. You won't usually end up doing Fac-U if you don't have a map. It has happened, but we try to avoid that if we possibly can. 1 second while I just fill the crate up. I'm not going to worry about radio channels. We'll talk about that another time. For now, we'll all use just the default channel 30, which is what you get on the radio. Obviously, I'm good here, so you're going to hear the other half of the conversation for a second until I go and teleport myself a little bit further away. Right. Okay. So line yourselves up in order. What I'm going to ask you to do, basically, Scatter, is I'm going to put an NPC group of Marines down at the bunker that you can see approximately west of here, halfway down the runway. I'll put some binoculars in the crate as well. And then there will be a notional MVA attack, which they will want you to suppress. I guess. Do people want to dive right in, or do you want to see Scatter do one first?
I'd like to see Scatter do one first.
Okay.
You say bunker halfway down the runway.
Yeah. Can you not see it?
I can see construction lumber.
I mean, there's a portal over there.
Hang on a second.
I mean, I see. I guess that could be kind of a bunker. It looks more like a fueling point.
Yeah, there's like a fuel station and a tin shack with revetment around it.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
About 280.
Yep.
Can you just tell me what the name of your backpack is, Scatter?
The name of my backpack.
Yeah, just squish I and hover over it because that's easier for me to find it that way.
It is UNS/SNS. Sorry, that was in parentheses.
Yeah.
Square bracket US/FLAC square bracket AN/PRC 25.
There we go. The crate that's about to drop from the skies,
It's
Scatter's left, contains a radio. So just drop your existing backpacks on the floor. We're not worried about other equipment and things like that right now. Take yourself a radio backpack. Take yourself a radio and put it into said radio backpack. Off a map if you haven't got one. If anybody doesn't have binoculars, a set of those in there as well. Please don't put your backpack in the crate because it will rapidly get full and people won't be able to access it. Okay, the blue 4 infantry are going to plot a blue smoke just to help figure out where they are. So that's a good thing to remember, which is that if you're supporting infantry from a way away, you can ask them to mark themselves. And they will usually do that by popping a smoke grenade of some type or another. Unless they are under close attack, at which point they may be a bit busy. So, can everybody see the blue smoke over there? To the west.
Yep.
Okay, go to the if you haven't used the radios before, go to the radio by self-interact, go to radios, choose one of the PRC 77s that you're carrying. I've actually got 3, you should all have one. and set it as the active radio on PTT1. You're going to use this to listen to what Scatter's going to do. This is where I get to put on my funny accents.
I've got my radio keys very set up so I can just choose between them.
Okay. You are going to hear both sides of the conversation. I'm sorry about that. In game, it's a little more. When we're doing this, it's a little more realistic. The training part. We're going to have to let it go. Okay, so. A little note about call signs. So, the position of FAC for the platoon has an identity. It's endgame red foxtrot. If you hear anybody say endgame red foxtrot over the radio, they actually mean the person currently doing Scatter's job. They don't necessarily mean Scatter, although often it is. So if, for example, you are suicidal and you have let Kent have the radio, then a call to endgame red foxtrot means this person here who is doing this task. So what we're going to do is simulate here. The Blue 4 are going to call in for TAC Air. Scatter's going to call Monkey Control to see what they've got. They will tell him what they've got available based on a dice roll that I make against the lookup table I have. They'll tell him how long it will take it to turn up. In this case, those times will be extremely foreshortened, so that we all get a go before the timeout. The pilots will turn up, check in, and then Scatter will direct them onto or nearby the target. The target, of course, is to defeat the MVA without killing the Blue 4, who are going to be standing around the bunker.
Okay, I can see friendly Marines down there.
Three-figure grids?
Yes, but remember that pilots in this era don't have GPS.
Yep.
They're reading off a knee map, which has about as much detail as and not very much at all. It's for this reason that most pilots call their maps the big green square.
Oh boy.
Right? So if you give them a grid reference, it means they will be probably within a kilometre of it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Visual marks are the
Visual
way
marks
forward,
are
yes.
vital,
Yeah.
or points. In this case, we've got a nice open area.
Unless you're using the B-52, which point they do have like a navigator with a map table and can't
Yes.
see anything.
Yes.
But even then, three-figure grids are probably
Optimistic.
Oh, yeah.
optimistic. Yeah.
Somewhere in the vicinity of.
Last time I gave an arc light a 3-figure grid reference, they read back a 2-figure grid reference.
Yep. It's like, did you mean
Similar
this
with
square?
Iowa's gunfire support.
That's right.
Cool.
One of them has lost his shorts for some reason. Doesn't care.
Operation
Okay.
Pants.
Operation Pants,
Do those
yeah.
Marines have a call sign?
They will do in a second. Yeah, they're Wolverine Red 6, so they're going to reach out to you in a second. So,
Radio check, PRC 77 channel 30.
did you get that on 30 megahertz? Anybody not hear that on their radio?
Loud and clear.
Okay, good. All right then. Over here.
Endgame Red Foxtrot, this is Wolverine Red 6, come in, over.
Wolverine Red 6, Endgame Red Foxtrot, go ahead, over.
We are a squad of Marines in contact with hostile forces to our west. We are in a bunker to the immediate south of the airfield, over.
Roger that, go ahead, over.
We have platoon strength NVA in contact with us, approximately 150 meters to our southwest, requesting TAC air, over.
Roger, I'll see what TAC air is available. Wait out. Monkey Control, Endgame Red Foxtrot, over.
Red Foxtrot, this is Monkey Control, go ahead, over.
Monkey Control, I have Marines in contact at the airbase north of Che Chab Tray requesting TAC air, over.
Wait 1, out.
feel free to sort of narrate while I do things like roll on the random number
Sure.
table. Yeah.
Okay, so the Marines are standing around in their pants. Hopefully, Monkey Control will chop us some air in a second. If it does, I will tell it to hover over Fob Emery to the north, which is 4 clicks out, while we get them sorted out. We're probably going to want a north-south attack run to avoid hitting the friendlies. Once air is on station, the best way to localise this target is probably going to be get the friendlies to pop smoke so that the TAC air knows where they are, and then bomb the western end of the runway. I don't see any friendlies yet. I don't see any hostiles yet, and we've got no easy way of marking them from here.
Yeah. I mean, by the...
They did say southwest, so it may well be in the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Game Red Foxtrot, this is Monkey Control. Voodoo Banjo Flight, that's Voodoo Banjo Flight, will be with you in minutes 1. Over.
Monkey Control and Game Red Foxtrot awaiting Voodoo Banjo out. Okay, so we've got a call sign coming in. We don't know what it is yet. We'll know when it turns up. So now the next thing is to try and get a better location on the enemy, which Wolverine Red 6 might be able to help us with. Wolverine Red 6, Endgame Red Foxtrot, over.
Endgame Red Foxtrot, this is Wolverine Red 6. Go ahead.
I have TAC air on the way due in a few minutes. Can you mark the position of hostiles for us, over?
Wait 1. Over.
Now, if they spam a smoke grenade into the trees and we just can't see it, that is going to be no fucking help at all. In which case, what we'll have to do is just bomb some trees, which isn't great, but it's better than doing nothing.
Yeah,
As long as we...
Endgame Red Foxtrot, this is Wolverine Red 6. We have put out purple smoke in the direction. Approximately, enemy are in the woods, approximately 50 to 100 meters southwest of the smoke. Over.
Roger that, many thanks. Out.
See
Now,
smoke?
Oh, yep, I
In.
see. Yep. Cool, so they're on the back side of that hill.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, we will get some TAC air available shortly. Now, it looks like they're pretty south of the bunker, so actually we're not going to want to attack north-south. We're probably going to want to attack diagonally. Yeah, if we come in from the northwest.
Yeah.
Endgame Red Foxtrot, this is Voodoo Banjo. Say again, this is Voodoo Banjo, entering the AO. Out.
Voodoo Banjo, this is Endgame Red Foxtrot. Check in when ready. Over.
I am a one-ship flight F4B, heavy loaded with Snake and Nape. Over.
Voodoo Banjo, I have you as single F4 loaded with Snake and Nape. Can you hold over Fob Emery? Over.
That's a solid copy. I'm going into a pattern over Fob Emery. My playtime is minutes 17. Over.
Roger that, Voodoo Banjo. I have Marines in contact at the airbase just north of Che Chab Tre. We have a platoon-sized VC infantry force in the woods. I would like you to attack with napalm first, running northwest to southeast. I'll copy. Over.
That's a northwest to southeast attack against infantry in the woodlands south of the runway. Over.
That's a good copy. I will have friendlies mark their position with coloured smoke. The targets are about 200 yards south of those. Over.
Solid copy. Out.
Wolverine Red 6 and Game Red Foxtrot, can you mark your own position with coloured smoke, please? Over.
That's Rog. We are popping smoke.
Blue smoke scene.
Roger. Voodoo Banshee, Endgame Red Foxtrot. Friendlies are marked with smoke. If you can see it, call the colour. Over.
Blue smoke. That's blue smoke. Over.
Colour is correct. That is a friendly position. Push attack ASAP. Over. Now, note the wind direction. It's blowing the smoke north. If we'd marked the target, it's possible it would have blown that marking smoke onto the friendlies. This is not a very good attack. We're attacking an unseen target. We're just putting a lot of napalm in the woods. Yeah, it's not great, but
Throw napalm on the wood.
what is the primary objective of a FAC?
Don't hit the friendly.
Exactly. So we're going to be fairly sure we're not doing that.
I'm just going to say wildfire mod. We don't have to be accurate with a napalm.
Might be worth telling them to go out to the north. Looks like there's more AAA down
In
the
from the
south.
northeast. 10 seconds.
Cleared hot. That is not.
That is definitely not.
Wasn't that 90 degrees off the attack path I gave them?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was. That was north to
It's
south.
in from the northeast, is what you said.
Oh well, we'll see. So the TAC air mod is a little bit exciting sometimes. Well, that looks like we hit the bunker.
No, behind the
Holy
bunker.
crap.
And we came pretty close.
Yeah, close, but
It's lucky there is a hill, and the bunker is on the hill.
Close enough for a barbecue.
It might have been a good idea actually to warn Wolverine Red 6 that that was about to happen.
Using napalm?
Yeah.
I would say that's a
Surprise!
miss.
Wolverine Red 6, endgame Red Foxtrot, first attack complete. What is the condition of the enemy? Over.
Endgame Red Foxtrot, that hit about 150 metres to our west. Good effect on target, actually, over.
Roger that, Wolverine Red 6. Do you want me to re-attack? Over.
That's a yes, we're still getting incoming fire, out.
Roger, out. Voodoo Banjo, endgame Red Foxtrot. Over.
Go right ahead.
Good effect on target. That's neutralised some of the attack. I'm going to want you to re-attack with Snake this time. Attacking from the northwest. Over.
Northwest to southeast, over.
Northwest to southeast, correct. I'll see if I can get you a better target mark. Out. Wolverine Red 6, endgame Red Foxtrot. Can you put us a smoke mark on the target? Over.
The Grenadier thump another, over.
Wolverine, let me know when your smoke is in position and what colour it is. Over.
Smoke is out, purple, over.
Roger, wait out. Voodoo Banjo, we have smoke on the target this time. Over.
smoke scene, purple.
Copy that, smoke not seen, over.
It's under the trees.
Yep. Say again, Voodoo Banjo, smoke not seen. Over.
Smoke not seen, over.
Okay, so we're just going to have to talk him on to where we think it is. Okay, Voodoo Banjo, if you can't see the smoke, then I'd like you to drop it on the southern edge of the woods south of the runway. How copy? Over.
I've rogered that transmission, but I need some more details, over.
Yeah, looking at the map, the woods sort of start south of the runway and run for about a kilometre.
Yeah, I'm misreading the map is what I'm doing there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what can we do? We can either... The mark hasn't worked. So we can give him... We can just fly him down parallelish to the runway and tell him to drop it level with the end of the runway.
Trace of fire scene.
Where from?
Scene.
276.
Directly west.
Voodoo Banjo, I'd like you to push that attack and drop when you are south of the end of the runway. Over.
Hostile scene.
Solid copy,
270.
dropping when I'm south of the end of the runway, moving in from the northwest to the southeast, over.
Good copy. And that is when you are south of the eastern end of the runway. Push ASAP. Out.
Yeah, I can actually see the attack.
Wolverine,
271.
given that you're under attack, we're pushing the attack now, although we are bombing the trees. Out.
Inbound, and I'm inbound.
It looks like most of
10
Wolverine are
seconds.
dead, I'm
You've
afraid.
cleared hot. Out.
Something go.
There he goes.
Make it split up, but oops. Go out.
I think it went behind the hill. Yep, there we go. Okay, well,
Oh, there it is.
oh, that's weird physics happening again. Okay, that was not a terribly good attack. We didn't have very good visibility. If we were in an aircraft, we could have moved to a different position to get a better line. If we were in an aircraft, we could have used smoke rockets. Wolverine Red 6 and Game Red Foxtrot. Sit rep over.
We take some casualties, but the attack is blunted. 1 moment.
I mean, it looked like it was pretty spot on, because I can see a dead chat.
I can no longer see
So
the feather
17
alive.
kVA. 17 kVA. Out.
Roger, I'll send the aircraft home. Out. Voodoo Banjo, and Game Red Foxtrot. Good effect on target. You are clear to RTB. Out.
This is Voodoo Banjo. I'm heading back to the barn. Out.
Okay, well that's that. That of course is that with the extreme no stress mode activated, since none of you were being shot at the time. And we have about half an hour. Unfortunately, this is so we can either try and get people in the air, scatter, but I suspect if we do that, we may only have time for one.
That's probably true.
Or we can try some closer ground attack. At which point we've probably got enough time to cycle and attack through everybody. What do you want to do? What do you reckon, guys?
I
Given I've just spent time getting all this damn
I
Broncos
still
going.
don't mind having a
think
go.
Bronco sounds
This is
cool.
actually useful for me, still playing pointer as is anyway, even if I don't actually literally call one in. So,
Okay, well, 'cause if you want
prioritise
to
other
move
people
to air, people are mostly going to be listening through the radio to what Scatter's saying. How are we going to do it? Do you want to be in the back seat, or
Well, I'm happy to sit in the back seat and coach people as they do and control the attack, or fly for them if they'd rather. But also, while we're getting a Bronco up, you could certainly get Pointer to run through one from controlling from the ground.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so a volunteer then to try it from the skies. And I'll speak at once.
Like to fly or to observe?
Whichever you'd
quality?
rather. You'll control the attack, and you can fly or not as you prefer.
I'll do back seat and control the attack once it's zone offline.
I'll fly you. Yep.
Okay, I'll get a Bronco down on the runway. 1 minute.
Yeah, we better get
As I
that.
say, given
airborne
the time
before we-
constraints, I'm happy to go last because I've spent a large chunk of this campaign listening to Nick do this from the other end.
It's just because I couldn't get a longer slot without cannibalising the actual session.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
We'll try that another time. Unfortunately,
just
I'm
having
playing
this-
for Poland at 4 a.m.
Having this sort of refresher is always is just still actually helpful for me anyway. Just reminding people how it's supposed to be done and experience how it's done, not necessarily having to do it myself.
Yes.
Do we
We've run
run
out
to
of
the
time, I'm
runway or are
fairly
we going to
sure
Oh,
I
I'll
can,
teleport you in a second.
If you run out of time, I'm fairly sure I can bully Nick into showing me at some point.
I am easy to bully into doing this.
Exactly.
Yes.
I just want the chance for everyone to hear
Yes.
almost the ground school bit before everyone goes, "Oh, now flying, yes."
I mean,
You see what
I'm
mean?
I was
I-
recording that if people want a copy of it, and I can record the next bit if people want.
Cool,
we should
cool.
probably come up with something more formal, but
to be honest, I think the informal, especially for this, for Cheltenham, is
Shell,
the
I think
best.
the informal works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, the scale you can tell squad how fucked the squad is by who is telling you to do shit. The scale is Nick, Dave T, Cackles.
Ewan.
Thanks,
Ewan.
Jack.
Yeah, Ewan.
No, those are like the broad bands.
Sure, I
we're all
think
gonna
Ewan
come down
comes
and have a look
immediately
at-
after Kent, having shot Kent.
We're all going to go down by teleport and have a look at the Bronco and talk about the Bronco a little bit and what you've got and what you can use it for and what it can and can't do. Everyone should hear that before we put it up.
Have I told you all how much I love the Bronco?
Once or twice.
Okay, so stand by for teleport.
I mean, it's in the wrong
Don't
colours.
nobody get in it, please.
Alright,
Here we
Nick,
are.
I spent a significant point of Friday telling everyone how much I love the Wildcat, so.
Yeah.
This is the Bronco in its FAC configuration as currently redesigned by me. It may still change a little bit, but that's what it is right
What
now.
are those on the wings?
Willy Peak bombs.
Okay.
Marking, but where you can't get a rocket in and you're just going to have to go over.
Sounds like the worst idea ever. Okay.
Fine.
It's like a Mark 82, but less useful.
I feel we might need a training mission with this setup on it.
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly draw your attention to the hard points. If you look at the fuselage, there's 5 hard points underneath. which are where most of our useful tools are. You've got the morale guns. They're just M60s, so they put out a lot of bullets, but they don't really do much. On the centerline one, there's a Mark 82. That's a 500-pound bomb. You are never going to hit anything with that unless you are way better than me. The main thing are the rocket pods. Those are both hydropods. We've got a pair of 19-round pods with short hydras in, and a pair of 7-round pods with long hydras in. The long hydras have a bigger warhead, 17 pounds rather than 10 pounds. So I'm guessing that they're probably loaded with high X, and the 19-round pods are probably loaded with Willy Pete for marking. Willy Pete is our primary weapon because that lets us call in TAC air. HE rockets are a temptation to think of ourselves as a light attack aircraft, which we probably shouldn't be doing, but is a lot of fun when we do.
There's a lot of ordnance for the engine power of this aircraft.
It's a surprisingly well-powered aircraft, actually. It's
It's
really got the engine power.
That's why it's the light weapons on the wing.
Yeah,
Yep.
like when we first started playing on this map many moons ago, I don't actually know how long ago it was, we'd like have a tendency to land at one end of the runway, and by the time we'd finished floating and all that bollocks, end up at the other end of the runway.
Yeah. So it's a turboprop, so there's quite a lot of power in there.
And that's Willy Pete bombs on the wings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just in
there
case.
I was looking for a
There are-
lightweight piece of ordnance because they're only 100 pounds. I might swap them out if they turn out to be spectacular.
They are good.
Or,
My prediction is they're going to be absolute fucking clown shoes, but we'll see.
I'm
But
assuming,
perfect for us then.
yeah, I'm assuming it would just need like a bit of practice to work out the.
So I spent a
Actual
little time
traction.
trying to land Snake Eyes from a Bronco, and I could not manage it.
That's why you need like a bigger aircraft. If you drop more bombs, you don't have to be so accurate.
Retarded, so you might be able to get that one on.
Even the airs, I couldn't hit with them.
Right. Annoyingly, this thing is not working. The radios in here are not working because of a thing.
We're all carrying a Manpack
But
77.
everyone's
So.
got a Manpack one, so it doesn't matter. Right. Okay. Yeah, what I might do, for hilarity's sake, of the people who aren't flying, there's 3 people here. Who is confident in flying a Bronco?
I'm afraid my flight controls are not the tip.
Yeah, I haven't flown one in a while.
I
but...
can fly them, I can't land them.
You don't have to. They're basically so that you can see what's going on from the air, and so that Nick gets to have to deconflict the airspace a little bit.
I can fly a thing.
Okay. All right. Well, if you two want to take that up, communicate with everybody on 30. We'll get you up, and we'll put some. You'll get a call. Again, it'll be from Wolverine Bridge 6, but it'll probably be somewhere that isn't here, and
Okay.
you'll have to go and have a look for it. If you all get hilariously lost, alternatively, I can put you all in. If you want, I can give the 3 of you of the riders. I can give you a Huey, and you can wander around in that. That might
I'm
be a little
much better
easier
at
on you.
fixed wing, rotor wing flight.
Okay,
Let's
all
go.
right. So get the
What's it?
Bronco up, and these guys can follow along in a slick and see what you're doing.
Can you hear me on the intercom or not?
Yep. Are you in? Oh, yes, I can see you. Cool. So the deal here is I'm just your driver. You are in command. You tell me where to go. I'll also need to find the
Okay.
rockets for you, but
Can you hear me speaking right now or not?
yes, I can.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So let's get airborne.
This is going to be fun.
You still hear me over the prop noise?
Yep.
Okay. I can barely hear you. Not super great, but it'll work.
So we can use 343s.
Yeah, not a ton better.
It's possible my mic's just a long way from my mouth. Is that any better?
How about now? Can you talk again?
I can talk again now.
Alright, cool. I just turned my volume down, so we're good. Okay, so we're airborne. Our call signs are Gimlet Foxtrot. What do we tell that we're on station? Like, is it still Wolverine Red 6 in the ground, or?
They'll call us. Yep.
And also, if we're in the air, do we have a call sign from Gimlet Foxtrot?
Yes, we'll be Sidewinder. Sidewinder 1.
Sidewinder 1. Monkey Control, this is Sidewinder 1, over.
Sidewinder 1, this is Monkey Control, go ahead, over.
We are on station at this time. Out.
Copy, out.
Are we going to be talking to Wolverine Red 6 again, or should I
Yeah,
somebody else?
Somebody will call us.
Okay.
So smoke rockets last about 30 seconds. Once
Okay.
The puffball.
Pylon turn layoff. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep orbiting us over Chechab Tray unless you have a plan.
Engine Foxtrot, this is Monkey Control, coming, over.
Monkey Control, this is Gimlet Foxtrot, over.
Wolverine Red 6, a convoy has reported in contact and has requested TAC Air. They are in the approximate location of Chez Georgette at 050045. Proceed and make contact, over.
Roger, 050045 for Wolverine Red 6, out. Break. Wolverine Red 6, this is Engine Red Foxtrot, over.
Engine Red 6, this is Wolverine Red 6. I am a convoy currently stocked up in the ruins of, looks like a plantation. We are taking heavy fire from across the river, over.
Okay, I think we're coming up on that now.
Roger, wait 1.
Yep, they're coming down 1 o'clock.
You're 1 o'clock, okay. I do not have eyes on yet.
Nope.
Are they on the left side or right side of that valley?
They're on the right side of the valley.
Right side of the valley.
3 o'clock now.
It's rain. I'm fucking blind.
Okay, I'll get us into orbit around where I think they are.
I see a fire base.
I think that firebase is the plantation.
Okay, I'm still searching for their vehicles. I'm gonna have pop smoke. Wolverine Red 6, this is Gimlet Foxtrot. Pop smoke on your location, over.
Copy, out.
You probably also want to rustle the trees and see what TAC air you can get, because it might take a while to get here.
Monkey Control, this is Gimlet Foxtrot, over.
Engine Foxtrot, this is Monkey Control, go ahead, over.
I see
We have
smoke.
troops in contact. What air power is available at this time, over? I see tracers, okay.
Blue smoke scene.
Yep, see. I'll call it once I get responded to.
This is Monkey Control. We've got some of those AVRN boys and the little prop wonders for you. We're chopping them over, they'll be there in about minutes too, over.
Oh good, Sky Raiders.
Roger, break. Wolverine Red 6, this is Engine Red Foxtrot, blue smoke scene, over.
Copy, out.
Okay. Wolverine Red 6, this is Engine Red Foxtrot. What is the approximate location of the enemy forces, over?
It's where all the fucking traces are coming from, across the river, man!
I see it.
Out.
Yeah, I see it too. Okay. So we're flying from northwest. Let me get on my map.
The river runs northwest southeast.
Okay. So I want my... Once I get them on call sign, I'm going to have them hold at Le Coq d'Or, have them do attacks from the northwest towards the southeast out to the northeast.
Yep, sounds good.
River, the engines. Wait. So yeah, we're just waiting on them to get in.
So you'll probably have, yes, when they check in, you'll give them a game plan. we'll put a mark in when you want them to attack. Do you know what? One thing we could do is we could put a Willy Pete down and get Wolverine to comment on whether that's in a good place.
Yeah,
While
that's
we're
not a
waiting.
bad idea, although I'm hesitant to do that until we get aircraft
Sure.
on station.
Engage Red Foxtrot, engage Red Foxtrot, you be out there, boy. Ooh.
What's
There's
their
the
call
shouts.
sign?
They didn't say. Just call them.
Station calling, this is Endgame Red Foxtrot. Say your call sign, over.
Hello, my lover, this be Bandit 1 of the Weir, Lloyd.
We're saved.
Bandit 1, alright. Bandit 1, this is Endgame Red Foxtrot. We have a air support mission for you. Stack location at Strung Tutnong.
Where the fuck's that then, oi?
Okay. Oh, this is gonna get saucy. Okay. Bandit 1, this is Endgame Red Foxtrot. Stack location to the north of the river, north of the Y fork in the river. Wait 1 for marking target, over.
There's about 3 Y forks in the river.
There's what?
They're on our nose. They're in the right place. They're right ahead of us.
Okay.
Yep, there's 2 of them. Cool. We can probably
they're
just
a little...
They're in Sky Raiders.
Okay. Let's mark the target with...
Foxtrot, this is Wolverine Red 6. We're getting green down here, man. Over.
Ignore him. Let's set the attack up.
Wolverine Red 6, this is Endgame Red Fox. We're going to mark the approximate enemy location with the white phosphorus rocket. Please respond with its accuracy, over.
No, we can do that.
Rolling in.
Okay.
Rocket away.
About 100 meters left, Endgame Red Foxtrot. You're about 100 meters left of the target. That's to the 100 meters east. Over.
Cool. You can either put the strike in 100 meters east of the target, or I can mark it again.
Is that we need to go 100 to the west? I think we need to go 100 west.
Yeah, I agree. That's where the tracer's coming from. Rolling in to remark.
Bandit 1, this is Endgame Red 6, over.
Do it be? Where'd the Foxtrot blow go like?
Do you have visual on the white phosphorus rocket? Over.
Well, I've been flying over a big bit of green shit north of a firewall here, boy.
I have no idea what the fuck you just said.
He is making your life harder than he needs to.
I see it on the slow bang, boy.
Roger. Initial point is north of the river.
Just make
Any
this
ordnance at this time, over.
make this as easy for them as you can.
Napalm, boy.
Napalm, okay. Alright, so I'm gonna have them come in from the north, do napalm, and then out to the east.
I'd do out to the south if I was you. Chelt Sky
Out to the
Raiders, keep it simple.
Okay, I just see lots of... Okay, got it. Out to the south.
Do you want
Bandit
another mark?
1, this is Endgame Red Foxtrot. Strike that position that was marked with white phosphorus with napalm. Come in from the north, exit to the south. Over.
North and south across the river, napalm on the white smoke. We see you going ready. We'll be telling you when we're ready. There ain't none of that AAA shit there, like, boy.
No known AAA at this time. Over. Famous last words.
Yep. Well, we haven't been shot at.
Fair.
Right, they're Sky Raiders, so they're probably coming in lower
Boy,
than
he's
this.
going down to attack, boy.
Cleared hot. I'm assuming that was his 10-second out mark.
What's going to see him?
That's probably his inbound mark, but I don't think we're going to see him. They should be below us and to the left.
Being from the north, like, he's already cleared me hard, so I'm just going to drop you.
No eyes.
There she is. Okay.
You'll note how that was in no way from the north.
North-ish.
Wait, and I'm fucking off now.
I thought we had 2 aircraft, right?
We do.
Ooh, interesting. That's odd. Wolverine
Yeah.
Red 6, this is Endgame Red Foxtrot.
Okay, we're still shooting. We're getting some stuff south of that napalm strike. Do you want to hit with the second aircraft?
Yep. Break. Bandit 2, this is Endgame Red Foxtrot, over.
Lloyd is be Bandit 2, Lloyd.
Bandit 2, I'd like you to do the same attack run, however, place your weapons 100 yards southeast of the previous attack run. Over.
100 yards southeast. I can't do that. That's like the village, Lloyd.
A village there?
Oh, he's coming in from the other direction. He's going over. Guess we'll see if he's
turn
dropped.
around. Okay, so instead of 100, let's do... Well, I mean, it is coming from... Okay. Roger, Bandit 2. Bring in your ordnance 50 yards south to the edge of that tree line before the village. Over.
That's good copies. I'd be going in like shit off shovel now.
Right, let's try and find him again.
Wolverine Red 6, this is Endgame Red Foxtrot, over.
Go ahead.
We've got one more flight of napalm coming in from
Eyes
the
on.
same attack
He's
direction.
in from the north.
Bandit 2, I be in from sort of northish, out.
Eyes
Clear
on.
hot.
Far into Canada North, like why not?
John's flying that.
He's still going to be too far to the right, but...
Friends are away and so am I. Have a good time.
I think that was our last airplane to play with.
It was,
so
yeah,
this
yeah.
point-
Well, let's see how the strike goes.
Yeah. That was not...
Okay, so
Okay.
what we do have is a load of HE rockets. If you would like us to do strike ourselves.
Yeah, let me call one more time. Wolverine Red 6, this is Endgame Red Foxtrot. Over.
Endgame Red Foxtrot, Wolverine Red 6, go ahead, over.
Can you give us a battle damage estimation, over?
We've got electric fire, so it sounds like you got him, over.
Roger, do you need any re-engagements at this time, over?
Wait, one.
Right, we're going in low to check it out.
Well, I'm not being shot at, so I guess not. Thanks for your help up there, good job, and we'll see you on the flip side. Drinks run us, out.
Alright. Bandit 1 and Bandit 2, this is Endgame Red Foxtrot. Thanks for your support. Out.
Always a pleasure, Lloyd. By the way, if you come see Marvin, let him know that my sister's husband's gold's looking after him, Lloyd. Lloyd.
Shack!
Okay, friends, Foxtrot, this is Monkey Control. Return to the barn. Out.
Monkey Control, Endgame Red Foxtrot. Roger. Out. Alright, we're going back. RTB.
Roger that. Coming in a little hot. This runway is very short.
Oh gosh.
Now we're good.
Yeah, our wing is clipping the tracker.
Okay, well, there's nothing we can do about that then.
Yep. Alright. plane's light enough, we can push it back if we need to.
Yes. Okay, engines off.
Alright. How do I get out?
Thank you. Hey, that was pretty good. You got hard mode there because you got bandit flight.
Sorry. Them exploding, not what you were saying. Got 2. Sorry, what were you saying?
What I was saying was you had hard mode there because you got bandit flight. So A, they won't do what they're told, and B, they speak Chelt.
But they sort of do what they're told.
They do. You just have to account
As a Native
for
American speaker, not a Native English speaker, that was difficult.
That wasn't native English. No, that was Vietnamese, which is basically just crap West Country.
I mean, it sounds very... Yeah.
In all seriousness, you did really well there. Because you sent them in a direction which meant that their own unique approach to being cleared hot didn't hurt the allies. You did change your attack vector, which meant that they weren't going to get shot by anti-air fire if there was any. You liaised with the ground teams to get where you could to get ideas on where the target was. You got white smoke markers down. But the only thing I would say is you cleared them hot very early, which for bandit flight is risky. Yeah.
But to be fair to him, bandit flights are not very good at communicating what stage of their attack they're in.
No.
That's what I figured. By the time they were cut, they said they were in. They looked really close to the target. So I figured within 10 seconds, they were already going to be over the top. So yeah, good point.
So yeah, well done. I reckon we've got time for one more. Who's next?
I think little Dave, Pointer was next, wasn't he?
Well, Pointer though. I mean, we want someone who Pointer's probably rarely going to be up there. Oh, Terry, you need a heal. There you go.
I should probably get this perspective. Yeah, but there is a high chance, however, my brain middling halfway through.
No worries. That's why you've got a back seater.
Absolutely.
Front seater.
Front seater. In your case,
yes, I'll fly or sit in the back seat as you would prefer.
Do you fly? My flight controls are not currently plugged in.
I absolutely can.
I mean, no promises.
What did you do to it?
I don't know.
Okay, let me know when you're in.
I am in.
Alrighty, flaps to... No, flaps to full. This runway is very short.
It was a bit pro-trousery going there.
A little bit. It's also bumpy as hell. Okay, we're almost at flying speed. We're now at stall speed.
Right.
Okay, no, we're good. Okay, so we have a load of Willy Pete marking rockets, by which I mean 30.
Yep.
And really, that's all we'll need. So I'll fly where you tell me to.
Guess you've got to pick a pilot helmet.
Oh, is the one in the... Sunray scatter message, over.
Send it over.
Is there any chance you could put a pilot helmet in the inventory of our Bronco, over?
Yeah, wait one.
You've got something.
That will make your life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Note the beautiful view, and how far you can see, and how hard it is to see people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, this is 500 meters up, which is basically safe from small arms range. So this is how far we need to fly to be safe. And obviously, I think TeamSpeak just crashed. Can you hear me?
Yes. Help me on. Still very noisy.
Cool. Sorry, I lost TeamSpeak there, so I was out of comms for a bit. Obviously, this is far too high to do actual Fac operation from, so we'll take it down to about 200. Sunray scatter, go ahead, over.
You successfully retrieved the helmet, over.
I believe so. Out. You got the hat, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Make much appreciated the distance.
Okay. Yeah, the Bronco is a noisy bird.
Okay.
So this is more like operating height.
Right. Fighting height.
Yeah. And we are well inside small arms range.
Right.
Luckily, the enemy usually can't shoot for crap, and that's what saves us.
Right, I'll call in on station then, shall I?
Yes, please do. Over to you.
Monkey control, monkey control, this is again Red Foxtrot, we are in the air. Out.
Monkey control, roger that.
We have an exciting new feature. Your scroll wheel might have an activate smoker button.
Nope.
Oh, okay, mine does. If you look backwards.
Yeah, just about.
We are leaving a trail of smoke.
Yeah, a short one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Engine Red Foxtrot, this is Monkey Control. We have troops in contact north of An Lang Leak. That's north of An Lang Leak. Call sign is Fortune Blue 6. Proceed to AO and check in. Out.
Amlan Leak. Oh, right. Top of the minor fork we were over last time.
Roger. I'll get us into the area.
Yeah, north, west of the map.
Okay, so you probably want to check in with the ground forces and find out what's going on and enjoy that rainbow that's at your nose.
Give me a moment.
Yeah, I mean, don't let me rush you.
Sorry, it's more the changing light on something can't be what I've written down. What was that call sign again? I can't read that now. Right in the dark.
I don't know, so call Monkey Control and ask them to confirm the call sign.
Monkey Control, say again, call sign asking for help. Say again, the call sign asking for help. Over.
Yeah, Fortune Blue 6 has made the request. That's Fortune Blue 6 out.
Right. Okay.
Okay, coming up on 11 o'clock off the nose.
Right.
They're down there somewhere.
Fortune Blue 6, this is Engage Red Foxtrot. Come in. Over.
Engage Red Foxtrot, this is Fortune Blue 6. This is Fortune Blue 6. Go ahead, over.
Okay, I can see Tracer.
We are on station to direct attack air for any support you may require.
Okay, I see them.
Yeah.
I'll put us in a pylon turn around them.
What is your current position, please, 14 Blue 6?
We are approximately 400 metres north of the Golden Cock. We are assaulting it. Let's say again, we are assaulting it with 2 tanks. There is heavily dug in enemy positions. We require attack air, over.
The thing is, yeah, I see. So they're assaulting that position.
I guess so. So you need to establish what's happening to the point where you are comfortable that you understand the situation.
Yeah, I've got them. I'm trying to get eyes on the tank. Eyes on, yeah, slip the corner. Monkey control, this is Engage Red Foxtrot. There. Foxtrot requesting available TAC air.
Copy that. We'll see what we can take loose from the trees now.
Cool. So what's your plan? What do you want to do with the TAC air?
I want to hit the tanks. I've seen at least one tank position. I'm trying to investigate the other.
Okay. Are you sure they're hostile tanks?
426 said they were assaulting the Golden Cock and they had difficulty with tanks malfixed.
Okay.
I
They
will
definitely
confirm that
mentioned tanks.
reading is okay.
But yeah, this is the time to sort out exactly what's happening.
Fortune Blue 6, this is Engagement Foxtrot. Confirm you are an element assaulting the position and wish enemy armour dealt with, over.
Okay, also we're taking
I
flag.
want the whole lot of it fucking dealt with. We're eating bullets like popcorn down here. Holy shit!
Right, okay.
Okay, we're taking flag, so I'm going to keep us a little bit further back.
Engaro Foxtrot, I just lost a tank. I need this hilltop suppressed. Over.
Right, they want the hilltop hammered.
Yep. Okay, so I think you want to hit the buildings on the hilltop.
Yeah.
Once you have TAC air, what direction do you want to put the air in from?
East, east.
Caribou Bravo coming on station.
Yeah, east-west is the direction.
Caribou Bravo.
Yep.
Caribou Bravo, this is Engagement Foxtrot. Check in, please.
We are a two-ship flight of F-100D. That's a two-ship flight of F-100D. We are armed with cluster, snake and nape. Over.
Okay, so what do we know about cluster?
They're assaulting position. We don't want to drop it unless we really have to because that will make things fighting later.
Yep, sounds good. So what do you want to use?
Start with the napalm.
Sure. Either is good. So if you want me to put a white phosphorus mark on the target, just let me know and I'll do that.
Where shall I stack them? For memory.
To be honest, I'd just call them in.
Right.
Give them the
Caribou
game.
Bravo, target is a compound, hilltop compound to the north-east of Amlan Leak.
That's a hilltop compound to the northeast and then Lee copy.
Friendly position is currently marked with purple smoke. Do you see, from marked with smoke, do you see smoke?
We see purple smoke and we see gunfire coming down from the hilltop. Over.
Yep. Confirm, hilltop is your target, purple smoke is friendly positions. Please make your run in from the east with napalm.
Running in from the east with napalm, lining up. Do you want all three ships or one at a time? Over.
All three ships, it's fighty down there.
Copy that.
Roger. So are you confident that they know where they're aiming?
Yes.
Cool. Then we
They're
probably
already
don't need to
dropping.
mark it.
They came in north-south and they dropped it.
Yep.
And that,
Okay, so that was the very opposite of what you asked for,
yep.
which can sometimes happen.
Yep.
So now
hang
you
on.
probably want to re-attack.
Now I will check.
Oh no, there's the napalm. So that looks pretty good. You didn't hit the
Yeah.
friendlies,
Yep.
and you have very thoroughly hit the target. You might want to put the snake in there as well.
Yep. I'll put that there. 40 Blue 6 is engaged by Foxtrot. Do you still require support? Over.
Still getting shot at, but I've also lost my fucking eyebrows. Over.
Yeah, he can fucking cope. Okay, we're no longer taking flak.
Yeah.
And the Huns are downstairs. If you want to re-attack, better sooner rather than later because they'll run out of fuel.
Yep. Caribou Bravo, this is engaged by Foxtrot. Please re-attack east to west. One ship using Snake Eye, please.
Copy that.
I guess a little bit higher. Also, as the fact you get to write the pilot's fitness reports for this engagement, so you can write them a shit one. One good thing, they took out the flak.
Yep. On the east.
Don't forget you'll need to clear them hot when they call 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Cleared hot.
Weapons are going loose.
I don't have my climb through the engine.
Oh, I see him, he's in from the southeast.
Yeah.
The hot, speeding out west, out.
He was short.
He ended up on him though.
Oh no, that went through the target. That's good hits.
Wolverine, this is Foxy Blue 6, we are assaulting. No more TAC air, please. No more TAC air, out.
Received Foxy Blue 6, out. Bravo, this is engage by post dropped. Enemy RTB out.
Yeah, we're all three of us are going back to start, out.
Stop fucking strafing, you Air Force.
It's not, it's the people with the Huey.
Oh, it's the Huey. I am prepared to go air to air.
Okay, quickly. Just the server.
Ah.
Channel User joined your channel.